Welcome to another episode of Andy's Chomping at the Bit, brought to you by Big Andy Media, the official sponsor of every Andy's Chomping at the Bit episode. So, today I have decided that I am going to do the episode on forgiving. And for good reason. So one of the hardest things I've had to do, first, October coming up here, is my hardest month and has been for the last several years. I'm not going to go into the details. I can actually do another episode on probably trauma or PTSD, one and the same basically. So, and that'll be on this. So basically, when I was living out in Colorado in 2020, the exact day, October 25th, I was sexually assaulted. So I have had a very hard time living after that moment. Not as a whole now. I'm happy to be alive now. For a while I wasn't. But as far as coping and dealing with it when October comes around has been challenging the last several years. I still, even with medication, I still wake up with the vivid dreams, heart racing, sweating, and other issues with the dreams, and it's literally reliving and replay over, every time I go to bed in that time, and so it's a really rough month. And the reason forgiving comes up is because I have not yet forgave. Well, I shouldn't say not yet. I did earlier today, I guess. So prior to today, I had not forgiven the individual who is responsible for the whole thing. And I was able to forgive myself in the past, which I know some people might think, why would you forgive yourself for that? The person who did it is the one who is the guilty party. And I understand that. And I agree 100%. There's no excuse for someone doing that, no matter what the scenario is. That's not okay. But I also know that had I not been searching out for my active addiction, I wouldn't have been in a position. I wouldn't have been in Denver, Colorado. I was living in Avon, which was like 2.5 hours away. And I drove there on Saturday the 24th to fix my addiction, get high, and so I ventured a bit, and so that's when it happened. So I forgave myself for putting myself in that situation as far as location goes, but I wasn't able to forgive yet, or I hadn't been able to forgive the individual actually responsible for the act, and it was because I didn't feel he deserved to be forgiven, to be putting it lightly. And so I didn't forgive for a long time on it. Like I said, not until today, literally. Today. My friend in the area had shared, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, a story where he was explaining he was having a hard time forgiving someone, and someone explained to him that you don't have to forgive that person for them. You forgive them for you. And that kind of clicked with me too, as far as when he told me that, or when he shared his story, because it's I don't have to, by forgiving him, it does not justify and make okay what happened. It does not give him a free pass for what happened, for that behavior. It does not make it acceptable in any way. And if he ever does get caught, it doesn't erase the accountability for his actions. He still has to, if he does get caught in this life, on Earth, does he, he still is held accountable, and should face even consequences for his actions. I'm not going to say revenge in a sense. I'm not going to say he should be fried for something like that. I personally, I'm not going to go into that. But and if he doesn't pay the price or held accountable on this, in this life, I believe that he will be, and in some extent, if he doesn't have any not regret, any remorse for the behavior, he might come judgment. But that's not for me to decide on what happens beyond that, to him. What's important though, like I said, is it doesn't just forgiving him doesn't take that away. But what it does do is it opens up the opportunity for closure. And I thought I had closure, but I don't, because I still get angry that he didn't get caught. I get angry with the police for not filing a police report on the incident, which really, I guess that still does make me upset. Not to the extent that it did. I don't hold necessarily the same anger that I had in the past. The resentment towards the Denver PD, like I did for a while there, because I thought, in that instance, you always file a report. Someone reported that, you say, you follow through with it, and well, they didn't. So, but anyway, getting back on track with the forgiving. I needed to forgive him because I couldn't move on without that. I can't move on without that. No, I'll never forget what happened. I'll learn the lessons that I learned from that on. I not just don't do this and be this way. I'm learning how to cope. It's not an overnight thing. In fact, it happened in 2020, so clearly it's been several years. It's not going instantly, and that's, from what I've heard, that's okay. That's normal, I guess. Everyone has their own pace at which it happens. Everyone learns to deal with things differently as that, coping-wise. But I had to get closer. I had to learn to forgive him. And like I said, today was the day. So I forgave him personally to myself. I forgave him. I told God I forgave him, and I've now told you guys I forgave him. So he's still accountable for his behavior. But I'm not gonna carry that resentment, that anger. And that was what I was going earlier. So, I in the past I would hold the anger of him getting away with it and nothing being done. And it would drive me crazy knowing that he was out there and most likely still doing what he did, just to others this time. But now I don't have to carry that. It's a little less of my energy wasted on what is going to happen to him. If this happens, what will the consequence be? By forgiving it opens the door to move on, to use that energy a little more wiser. I don't think it's gonna automatically make those vivid dreams go away. I have no idea. This, like I said, this just happened today. We'll find out through this next month. I don't expect it to, but on my end, at least, I know that I have done the next right thing as far as what I need to do is moving on. I had to forgive. It's not easy. I don't know if I actually have technically. I mean, I've said it. I said it to myself. I said it to God. I said it to you guys now. I don't know if that carries over. I really don't. I hope it does. I hope that the pain that I carry, the anger that I carry, the fear, the anxiety, that the flashbacks, I hope that lessens by forgiving. I hope that lessens a little bit by sharing. I can't share much right now. I don't know how much I can say right now. I struggle to say even off camera. I struggle to say it even in a therapy session in detail, because it is really hard to deal with. So it's not a pleasant point in my life. That wasn't. And I think next episode I'm going to do one on gratitude, because that's something that I can actually, that's something that pulls me out and helps me through that. Because after the moment, I tried multiple times to end myself, to kill myself, and I failed every time, thankfully. And it wasn't a cry for help at the moment. I literally wanted to. So I am blessed that failed. Very, very blessed. And I'm blessed that I'm here to share with you guys the forgiving side. Like I said, I'll do another one at some point on the trauma itself. But that's not today. Today I am talking about the forgiving, and I am grateful that I am here to be able to forgive. Like I said, whether I have actually succeeded at doing it just now or not, I don't know yet. I'll find out. I hope I have. For my sake, I hope I have. So it's a learning experience. It's a growing experience for me. But yeah, so that is today's Andy's Chomping at the Bit episode. I hope you did get something out of it or enjoyed it at some level. Please give me feedback if you choose. I do appreciate, not just on this matter, any previous episode, feedback, comments, messages. Whether it be something you're struggling with, whether it's something I said that, whether it's a topic that you would like discussed, I am open to listening. I'm open to discussing, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to begin with. So, thank you for listening. It's as big of a help for me as it may be for others listening. So, with that, like I said, that's today's Daily Biscuit, or today's Andy's Chomping at the Bit, not Daily Biscuit. And as always, this is brought to you by Big Andy Media. And beginning October, we've got ourselves a new Spotlight charity. I will announce that most likely on Monday. I can't announce it past Tuesday, because Tuesday is the beginning of October. So that will be for the Singing for a Cause event. And while I'm at it, I might as well just simply mention Singing for a Cause is held on the first and third Sunday of every month from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And that'll be the requested virtual live performance, where you can simply request a song from a list of songs, and then you make a payment, donation tip, and that song will be performed by me. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Even if you don't have the money to do that, even if you just want to tune in or find other ways to help the Spotlight charity, I will cover that stuff as well, and you can always just enjoy the songs. So have a great rest of your Friday, and have a great weekend. And I'll speak to you guys more on Monday and Wednesday for the Daily Biscuits. And there's another announcement coming later today as well. So stay tuned and have a good one.